Hey everybody, Putt King here, and I'm back for this week's story time. And for this week's story time, I'm going to tell you about the time that I locked myself out of my own house. And I was late for class. Now, this wasn't real recent, okay? This happened back in 2007. Yeah, it just started out like any other morning. Like any morning, I'm getting ready for class. And we have a little extra time. So, as in me and my girlfriend at the time. So we just decided to watch some TV. Because, I mean, that's the best way to kill time before going to class. And then, when it's time to go to class, me not thinking at the time, really cost me. I locked all the doors, and my backpack is still inside. I don't have a key to get in. So, first things first, I call my parents and ask them, what I can do. And they said to try it with a card, that it's worked with a card before when there's no lock. When it's locked, just try a card. I tried a card. Didn't work at all. So that's when I really start to worry, and I thought, I kept trying a whole bunch of things, and then I thought to myself, oh, it's getting closer to class time. I'm not going to make it to class on time. I'm going to have to call the teacher and tell him I'm going to be late. So I called the teacher maybe 15, 20 minutes before. Let her know that I'm going to be late to class. And she did say, thanks for telling her. And indeed enough, I was late to class. Probably good 5 or 10 minutes. But what was more embarrassing was my backpack was still in my house because I couldn't get in the house. So I show up to class that day with no backpack. No backpack, no pencil, no notebook, no textbook. But we didn't really use textbooks that much in college. All I had to really do was just ask to borrow a pencil and paper from somebody. But I felt that it was embarrassing to not have your backpack in class, or to not have a backpack at all for class, and that you have to borrow stuff. But I knew that pencil and paper would be fine, because we don't really use a textbook that much in college, or at least in the class I was in. So after that, class is over, and it's back to worrying, how are we going to get back inside the house? Well, my girlfriend at the time, she called a locksmith and said that the locksmith said they could come unlock the door, but it would cost $35. And also, my parents said that they called their locksmith too, and strange enough, it was the same locksmith that she called, because they gave the same option, saying it would cost $35 if he come to unlock the house. So I do what I have to do, pay him $35, and then I'm back in the house. It was a little bit hard to pay $35, but to get us back in the house, I figured at that time it was worth every penny. So now that I'm back in the house, I called to let them know that, the locksmith had unlocked it. We're back in the house. That locksmith's been paid. So, mission accomplished. The door's no longer locked, and we can get back in. And I vowed to, from this day forward, never do that again. The only reason I did that to start with is because my parents weren't home. They were out of town. So I was trying to keep it place secure. And I guess I got too secure and locked all the doors. But I vowed that I was never going to do that again. At least one that I didn't have a key with. So now I've been more careful about, closing and locking doors, especially just if they need to be. Because the only reason I locked it was because we were both leaving. No one was in the house. I didn't want anyone breaking in. And that's, of course, why I locked it. But after getting in the house, it was just relieving. We were both grateful that we got in our house. We got back in our house, even though it cost $35. But yeah, that is the story of the time that I locked myself out of my own house and was late for class and paid for it by not being able to have my backpack for that day. And of course, with being back in the house now, of course I take it to class with me. I felt I was quite embarrassed when I didn't have it with me. But then again, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. But yeah, that's my story time for this week, and I'll be back next week with another story time. So make sure you like, comment, and if you have not yet, hit the red button and subscribe. And I will hope to see you in my lives and in my other videos that I upload and in my future upcoming premieres. Okay. I'll see y'all later.